right, we've got 6 minutes before the closing bell rings. So the Dow wakes up and everybody else goes to sleep. Dow is on pace for the third straight day of gains. This is a big gain, 298 points, just under 0.75% or about there. S&P, though, down 8. We'll say it's too close to call because who knows what could happen in the next 5.5 minutes. But any gain gives it another record. NASDAQ solidly in the red, down 123 points, appears to be snapping a 7-session record-winning streak. We should check back in on NVIDIA right now. At the moment, it's down about 3% as it continues to battle it out for the crown of world's most valuable listed company. Right now, Microsoft has snatched it back after NVIDIA briefly took the top spot. Above Microsoft and Apple right now, fallen just a bit below, you can see, and Microsoft in the lead, Apple in third place, barely. Even still, the last time a big provider of computing infrastructure was the most valuable company was Cisco back in March of 2000. You can see on this chart that just 2 years later, amid the dot-com bubble bursting, the stock plummeted. It's the far left side of the screen. Hit a low of $8.12. Today, it's at $45 and change. But our countdown closer, very confident NVIDIA's meteoric rise won't experience the same fate. He's betting on the chipmaker and two other mega-cap tech names in the space because of momentum. Arbor Financial President Jeffrey Small is joining me now. Jeffrey, they say don't fight the tape. I'm hearing that that is very much part of your message here.
It is, Liz, and mega cap trends like AI equal mega cap exceptionalism, but all you have to do is look at the numbers, and the proof is in the pudding. The earnings are growing across the board for the Mag 5, where we have really 5 stocks carrying the market this year. 60% of the return on the S&P has come from 5 stocks, Liz. Where are the rest of the other 490?
Doesn't that worry you?
You know, it really doesn't, because I don't think we're living in a dot-com bust time. I see lots of growth going forward. And the big question is, can NVIDIA double from here? I believe that it can. All it has to do is add 20% to its bottom line quarter over quarter instead of 700% year over year, and it'll more than double its earnings. And so that will easily justify the valuation of NVIDIA. But to put it in fair terms that we can understand, Liz, NVIDIA has the same price to earnings multiple as Costco. Imagine that.
I get it, Jeffrey. Let me play devil's advocate here, because that's my job. I think NVIDIA is an incredible business, yet it has a very long runway and a very wide one for great revenues. Clearly, that is very much the focus for so many investors. But a lot of people now own the stock. How many more are left to buy the stock? And on top of that, we know that no company is bulletproof, no matter how far in the lead they appear to be. I remember BlackBerry. BlackBerry had 77% of the smartphone market share, and then they lost it all when the iPhone came out. I mean, what are you going to look for?
Well, I'm a pragmatist too, Liz, and I got to be honest with you. You know, the majority of all fund managers today are so underperforming the market, it's not funny. And everyone's clamoring for owning these Mag 5 where they didn't own enough. And everybody missed the call the last 2 years. Is momentum going to go from 700% growth on their bottom line to 0? No. Is growth going to slow down? Of course it is. And there's competition coming, and it's already starting to experience. So NVIDIA's not going to explode 700% every year, but it is possible for the Mag 3 or the Mag 5 or Mag 4 to add 20% to their net earnings every year for the next year or two. But eventually, when do you shift? You shift when fundamentals shift. And the key is for all of us to get out in front of that if we can. And that's a hard thing to do, Liz.
Jeffrey, Citi, let's talk macro. Citi, Goldman, UBS, Evercore, they've all upped their S&P 500 targets. It looks like they're kind of falling over each other to hike them. And today, the S&P briefly went above 5,500. It's at 5,474 right now, so it kind of retreated. But tell me where you see the second half of this year going.
Well, the reason they're upping their price targets, I'll answer your question in a second, is because of the tech sector. That's what's happening. It's lifting everything up. Price targets as far as my picks or price targets as far as the S&P?
Well, as far as the S&P.
I think we close around 5,900 by year end.
Okay, because that's second highest. I mean, Evercore's at 6,000. They're the ones who made a really big hike. They're the highest on the street. So what will you be looking for? You're a smart money guy. What will you be looking for that tells you, oh, maybe the herd is trying to shift a little bit, and we know sometimes not only do they shift, but they stampede away from something?
I think the key, the first ingredient is going to be earnings and watching the bottom line of the Mag 5 here. Are they going to keep up their run rates? Are things starting to slow down? Are they improving their top and bottom line numbers? That is going to be critical. The second is going to be the Fed and how fast inflation is slowing or not slowing. And can we see more than one rate decrease this year? Okay. And so that, those are the two dynamics that I think are going to really influence prices going into year end.
Jeffrey, confidence. I hear that from you. Thank you very much.